Aldi built its whole reputation on being the honest one. Then it started locking exits, hiding fees, and burying the truth in fine print 15 times and counting. Number 15. That locked gate was at an Aldi in Melbourne's Northland. No sign out front, no email, no app notification, just a machine demanding a receipt scan before it would let shoppers leave the store they'd already paid to shop in. Aldi confirmed to Yahoo News that these receipt scanning exit gates are being trialled at several locations around the country, not just Northland. Nobody at head office sent a press release warning regular shoppers before it showed up at their local. They found out by walking straight into it. Your move if your local Aldi still doesn't have these gates. Know the trial exists before you're the one standing there, confused with a trolley full of frozen food. Number 14. Here's what makes the gates worse than a simple inconvenience. One Melbourne shopper compared the scanners to the old Mikey readers on Victorian public transport, and not as a compliment. He said the machines were unreliable and slow, and that you're kinda stuck in the store till they work. Other shoppers reported getting stuck behind trolleys, queuing at the gate, and at least one person accidentally hit the no receipt button and had to wait for a staff member to manually let them out. This is a supermarket checkout, not an airport security line. Your move. If the gate glitches on you, don't panic and don't argue with the machine. Flag a staff member straight away, because manual override exists precisely for this. Number 13. Aldi's own spokesperson confirmed that shoppers who don't buy anything can exit through the manual checkout area instead of the gates. Sounds fine in theory, but that only works if you actually know the option exists, and Aldi didn't put up signage explaining it at the stores where shoppers first encountered the gates. One shopper flagged the exact problem before the policy was even clarified. I don't always buy stuff from Aldi. I love to have a browse of special buys. People will try to use the entrance to exit. Congestion galore. That's a logistics problem Aldi rolled into live stores before it had worked out the answer, and shoppers only got the clarification after they'd already been stuck at the gate and complained loudly enough online. Your move. If you're just browsing, ask a staff member before you get near the gates, not after. Number 12. While the gates were quietly rolling out in Victoria, something else was quietly rolling out at self-checkouts nationwide, and this one nobody at Aldi has properly explained at all. A Reddit thread titled, "Is this a new Aldi rule?" documented shoppers being told by staff to scan each item and place it directly into the trolley before bagging it. Instead of the usual scan then bag at your own pace method, Aldi's self-checkouts have always used. Commenters speculated it was about reducing theft and scanning errors. Others said their local store had never done this and had no idea what people were talking about. Nobody could confirm whether it was a genuine nationwide policy or just a handful of store managers making their own call. To be clear, this one is unconfirmed. Aldi has never gone on the record about it either way. Your move. If a staff member asks you to change how you're checking out, ask directly whether it's store policy or a local trial. You're allowed to ask. Number 11. Here's a policy that's technically been public for years, but that almost no shopper actually clocks until it costs them money. Aldi's self-checkouts are card only. No cash option at all. Aldi's own help page confirms it plainly. All self-checkouts will accept card only to maximize efficiencies. And on top of that, every card transaction at Aldi, self-checkout or staff, carries a 0.5% surcharge. It's disclosed on the website and itemized on your receipt if you look closely, but it's never announced to you out loud at the register. Your move. Check your receipt next time. That surcharge line is real, and if you tap a debit card using the contactless credit rail instead of inserting it, you'll get charged even when you didn't mean to use credit at all. Number 10. That card-only self-checkout policy suddenly matters a lot more as of January this year. On the 1st of January 2026, a new federal government cash acceptance mandate came into force, requiring supermarkets and fuel retailers to accept cash for in-person purchases up to $500 between 7 in the morning and 9 at night. Businesses that breach it face a maximum penalty of $198,000. The rule exists because, in the government's own words, Australians who depend on cash for fuel and groceries shouldn't be left behind. Aldi's staff checkouts do still take cash, so technically the mandate is satisfied, but if the only open lane in your local store is self-checkout, and increasingly it is, cash-dependent shoppers are quietly pushed toward asking a staff member to open a manned till every single time for a right the government just legislated legislated, they should have by default. Nobody announced that collision. You're expected to notice it yourself. Number 9. In January this year, Aldi announced with genuine fanfare that its famous twice-weekly special buys, the Isle of Shame, ski jackets, air fryers, all of it, would finally be available for home delivery through DoorDash. Group Director Simon Padovani-Gini's called it a game changer for shoppers. What didn't make the headline? Aldi's own admission, buried further down in the coverage, that the cost of convenience was that some items on the platform would cost more compared to the in-store price. Number 8. Consumer Group Choice went further and found Australian households were paying up to 40% more for grocery delivery through platforms like this generally. 40%. On a supermarket whose entire 16.8% price advantage over Coles and Woolworths is the exact reason people shop there in the first place. Your move. If you're ordering special buys or groceries through DoorDash instead of walking into the store, check the in-app price against the in-store price before you tap confirm. The gap can wipe out the exact saving Aldi built its whole brand on. Number 7. Let's put a real number on that gap. Aldi's own pitch is that shopping there saves the average family over $3,000 a year against the two majors. If DoorDash convenience can cost up to 40% more on the exact same items, then every special buys order placed through the app instead of walking into store is quietly eating into that saving order by order. Nobody at Aldi is going to put that side-by-side comparison on the DoorDash storefront for you. You have to do that maths yourself, standing there with your thumb over the checkout button. Number 6. September 2025, the NSW Food Authority issued an official recall notice for Aldi's own made real whole food balls, cashew, cocoa and berry, and peanut butter and caramel in both the 69-gram and 184-gram packs. The reason? Potential presence of metal foreign matter. Not a rumour, not a forum post. A government food safety recall sold across New South Wales, the ACT, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia and Western Australia. Aldi followed the standard process. Recall notice, refund at any store. But like every recall from every supermarket, it only reaches the people who happen to see it. Your move. If you've got Aldi brand snack products sitting in the pantry that you bought months ago and haven't checked, it costs nothing to search Aldi Australia recall before your next handful. Number 5. Zoom out and look at what these threads actually have in common. Exit gates that showed up with no warning. A self-checkout scanning rule nobody can confirm is even official. A long-standing card-only surcharge policy that collides with a brand new consumer protection law nobody flagged the overlap on. A delivery partnership marketed as a win with the price catch left out of the headline. A metal contamination recall that only reaches you if you're already checking. None of these were hidden exactly. Every one of them is publicly documented if you go looking for it. But not one was proactively announced to you, the actual shopper, before it affected you directly. That's not 5 unlucky coincidences stacked on top of each other. That's a pattern in how this company handles change. Number 4, and here's why that pattern matters more for Aldi specifically than it would for Coles or Woolworths. Aldi's entire 25-year pitch in this country has been, we're simple, we're honest, we don't play the games the big two play. No loyalty card tracking you, no confusing catalogue of 10,000 SKUs, just low prices and straightforward shopping. That reputation is arguably the actual product Aldi sells you, more than the groceries themselves. Every one of these quiet rollouts chips at exactly that reputation, because we're the honest one, and we didn't tell you about the gate, the checkout rule, the surcharge mandate collision, the delivery markup, or the recall until you found out yourself cannot both be fully true at the same time. Number 3, notice something else about how you learned all of this. Not one of these 6 things reached you through an Aldi press release addressed to shoppers. The gates surfaced through a Melbourne customer's photo going around online. The self-checkout rule surfaced through a Reddit thread asking if anyone else had noticed it. The DoorDash pricing gap surfaced because Choice went looking. The recall surfaced through a government notice most people never see unless they're already checking. Loyal, everyday Aldi shoppers are consistently finding these things out from each other, or from journalists doing the digging Aldi didn't do for them. Never first, and never from the company itself. Number 2, none of what you just heard is speculation stitched together from anonymous complaints. The gates are confirmed by Aldi's own spokesperson to Yahoo News. The card-only surcharge is confirmed on Aldi's own help page. The cash mandate is confirmed by Treasury and the the ACCC. The DoorDash pricing gap is confirmed by Aldi's own statement about the cost of convenience, backed independently by choice. The recall is an official NSW Food Authority notice with a government reference number. The only genuinely unconfirmed item on this entire list is the self-checkout scanning rule, and that's precisely because Aldi has never gone on the record about it either way, which is itself the point. And number one, here's the actual system running underneath all of it, and once you see it, you won't unsee it. Aldi doesn't send out a press release when something changes for the worse, or when an old policy suddenly collides with a new law. It quietly trials the change, or quietly keeps the old policy running at stores across the country. It waits to see if shoppers notice and complain loudly enough to reach a journalist or go viral on Reddit. If the backlash stays small, the change becomes permanent, quietly, everywhere. If the backlash gets big enough, a spokesperson finally responds, always after the fact, always reactive, never, here's what's coming next month, heads up. That's not a conspiracy. That's just what happens when a business realizes that staying quiet costs nothing unless somebody catches them. And by the time they're caught, the change is already live in enough stores that walking it back costs more than riding out the complaints. Every single item on this list laid side by side is the same move, repeated 5 different ways. Change first, explain never, respond only when forced to. So here's what actually protects you against a company that operates this way. Don't wait for Aldi to tell you what's changed. You now know where to look. Check Choice and your state food authority recall page every few months, not just when something tastes off. Compare DoorDash prices against in-store before you order special buys online. Check your receipt for that surcharge line. And if you hit something new at the checkout that nobody explained to you, ask a staff member directly whether it's official policy, because half of what's on this list only became public knowledge because one shopper asked that exact question out loud. So tell me in the comments, has your local Aldi rolled out the exit gates yet, or the new self-checkout rule? And if this made you look twice at the supermarket you trust the most, you'll want to see what Woolworths has been doing at its own checkout gates, because that story's coming up next on this channel. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.